Hi guys, how are you doing? This looks different, right? Yep, still the same house, except that instead of me being on my bed or in front of the computer, I'm actually in the hall on the sofa. Yep, it's been a while. About how many months? Maybe 6 months. Yeah. Um, Maybe more than 6 months. I've been working, or rather, I would say I was working, yeah, between June all the way until last week, first week of December. I was actually working, yeah, and I actually started working in a hotel. Um, yeah, they were nice enough to give me a chance to work for 6 months as a waiter. Um, yeah, didn't know what to look forward to when I went in there because I'm totally like inexperienced. Okay, maybe even inexperienced is not the right word, but I guess the word is greenhorn. I'm totally green in the industry, and that was also what I said when I wrote to the director as well on the last day, yeah, last week rather. Yeah, it's been very eye-opening because when I went in there, I didn't know what to expect, and also because, like, you know, I was given uh, my 3 months probation, and um, because the place that I was working in only opened in August and I was in June. I was in June, so I guess the actual evaluation should only start from when I started in the retail. Very tired. Yeah, I don't know if I should cut this out, maybe not. Yeah, anyway, it was eye-opening, not just because, like, when I first went in there, my thought was that I was hired to do coffee. So my focus was on the coffee and just the coffee. And of course, as I learned, my job title as waiter um, entailed more than just coffee. And I learned a lot more, even with regards to the coffee, right? Being a waiter um, means you need to serve customers, you need to interact with customers. I mean, of course, the at that time when I first went in, I thought that my zero focus, my laser focus would be on the coffee, and it just didn't turn out the way that I thought that it would turn out. Yeah. Um, so the first month or so when the shop opened, the place that I was also working opened, that was in August, and I actually got my first review, and the review was not that great. Uh, yeah, and then but subsequently, I sort of like picked myself up. I think the thing about this here, this learning this last 6 months is how God has really brought me through this journey. And God has really blessed me because uh, you know, there's a lot of changes. Yeah, like for example, if you work in a hotel, it's a 24-hour establishment, so there's definitely going to be shift work, right? So I can do 7 to 5 or 8 to 6 or 11 to 9, and that was something that really stretched me. right? Because previously in my previous role, full-time role, I was only doing, and I use the word only loosely, I was only doing 9 to 5, 8 to 5, I think it was 8 to 5, and then on weekends I would be like dead because I just didn't feel up to the job, and thus I left the job, right? But then when I joined Hyatt, I feel like I really did stretch myself, and God really did bring me through all this. Um, yeah, and I'm also fortunate to have had good colleagues and very good higher ups. Yeah, you know, I wrote into the director on my last day and I said, thank you for providing me a chance. Right from the interview all the way until approval, approving my hire. Yeah, they were all being very nice. I got enough to cover for 1 extra month, thankfully, and yeah, it's been a good experience. I mean, when we talk about wanting to have a role to interact with people, and in my previous job, I had the role where yes, I did serve coffee to people, but my role did not require me to really engage and interact with people. Whereas in this new role that I had for the past 6 months, it really did. And initially, the comment, which is true now that I look back, was that I would be very laser focused on the coffee and not really focused on the engagement part. So, and this is where I received a lot of help, I guess. Yeah, and also, in the next 3 months from September onwards, I really tried, and one thing is that the more I did it, I realized the more I didn't mind it. Not exactly that I enjoy it. I mean, yeah, finding enjoyment in your work is important, but it's more of like I felt comfortable doing it. Yeah, and yeah, and you know, um, it's been an experience that I mean can never imagine being there in the first place. God provided, and generally at work I could still handle even the tough moments. Of course, when I came home, then it was a different story. But generally at work, tough moments could still be managed. And one thing that I'm very, very thankful for to God is also that not only did I have good colleagues, most of them were and good higher ups, but also about decision making. I feel that because as I told mom, I said that even from the beginning I had many chances to give up, all the way from the interview, right? Because my initial interview was for a waiter. Then the interviewer told me not to think about being a waiter, right? Right. So the first round, I told him to give me 1 week to think, and there was the second interview. Second interview, he told me not to think about being a waiter, but ironically, my role in their retail shop, the hotel retail shop, was to be a waiter, which was not something that was initially communicated to me, and that was where the big miscom came about. Yeah, and this is something that I learned lah. Something that I learned is that when people tell you something, it's not about being clear, but more about don't take people's words at face value totally. Like I mean, this is also a matter of trust, right? Where we go to like, I've always been thinking and talking about trusting, where, you know, like if somebody says something, don't take it at 100%. I mean, in this case, there was really a big miscomm, as one of my colleagues mentioned, right? There was a very big miscomm about what my role was intended to be, because to the interviewer, to my hiring manager, the role was heavily simplified. Yeah, and then I went in with my eyes closed, as I told mom, right? I said my eyes were closed, and hoping that things would just set up for me, and had the assumption that the role was for me, but as we turned out knowing that actually this role is trying to fit me, a square peg into a round hole, right? A square peg into a round hole, which as we all know, it doesn't fit lah. Or it doesn't fit very well. So, but nonetheless, the decision to continue, I think in the end was a good one, because right from the start, and even from the first month onwards, when I started to have issues, right, I could have just given up, and my first probation also given up, but somehow God, you just helped me to decide to persevere on. And I also had this thought, like I told mom also, that, you know, if I chose not to persevere on for the 6 months, then I wouldn't have gotten the thanks from others that I would have got had I given up after my first probation, 3 months, which, if you look at it, actually it wasn't even a 3-month probation, it was just 2 weeks, because the shop had opened for 2 weeks before my probation ended. So the first round was not nice, definitely, because I felt that, well, you are only, yes, it's 3 months, but then you only see me for 2 weeks, and then but subsequently it was like, okay, thank you so much, right? The second round, thank you so much for this opportunity. And yes, I am very grateful to the hotel for giving me the opportunity, because had I not tried it, I wouldn't have known what a hotel is like. I wouldn't have had a job. I mean, that's the most practical thing, right? I wouldn't have had a job, but also most importantly, I wouldn't have known what hotel line is like. And then I always think of, like, I only want to go into F&B and all that. So I think the timing is really good also, because I ended my trial, you know, last week, and parents are away as of today. Today is Tuesday. They just left for Taiwan, and then Christmas is coming up and all that. So I hope I can take the next few days resting at least. And this has been a very I don't know if the word is humbling, you know, but I would say this is a learning experience. Yeah, it was tough, and I learned that I can be stretched further. But of course, being stretched further also means I feel like you have to stretch for the right purpose and for the right people, for the right company. So yeah, hope all of my viewers are doing well, and the year has really flew by, you know, not say 6 months, but the whole 2024 has really come by ever since, you know, what was my last video? My last video was, I don't know, was it a story time? Yeah, when I was still with my parents and going to visit HDB show flats and all that, and boom, and now it's like this, and we are already entering 2025 in a month, right? So to all my viewers, I hope you are doing well. Take care, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Here's to the ones that not. Cheers to the wish you were here but you're not, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today, toast to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain, when I believed